Good day, BAL2A students. Welcome to our class. By the way, I am Angelica Gillera, your teacher for today. So you can call me Miss Angelica or Teacher Angelica. It's okay for me. Anyway, how's everyone doing? Are you all good?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
ma'am.
miss. We're very fine. Thank you for
Very good.
asking.
Wow, that's great. I'm happy to hear that. All right, how was your experience studying English for, I guess, almost 2 years? Am I right?
Um, for me, ma'am, it was fun.
Yes, how was it?
Yes, it was fun and it was good because I've learned my English in a way that through movies and through books, which those two are my hobbies and the things that I like
Mm,
to do. So for
wow,
me, it was fun. Yes.
I see. That's good. How about you, May Balaga? How was
For
it?
me, mom, it's very challenging because we all know that English is not our first language, so it's really a challenge for me to learn English. But it is fun and interesting as well because we have learned a lot throughout the years of
Yeah,
studying Baal.
yes, you are correct. Thank you for your answers. Anyway, today we're going to land to Japan. Is anyone here familiar with haiku poem?
No, miss.
Ah, I see. How about the others? Are you familiar with haiku poem? How about Arninia or Quizame Balaga? Are you familiar with haiku poem?
Yes, yes, miss. I'm very familiar with haiku.
Ah, that's great. Okay, could you tell me about haiku poem? Or like where does haiku came from?
For me, I think haiku is from Japan, and I think haiku is a Japanese poetic form.
Ah, yes, you are correct. Anyway, if not all, I guess most of you here knows already about haiku poem. It is not new to your ears because you are an English learners, and I guess your teachers already taught you about this one. Anyway, let's proceed. Once again, haiku is a Japanese poem. So you are right, Balaga, that haiku came from Japan. Okay, so here are the objectives of our discussion today. So first we have here describe the traditional rules and conventions of haiku. And we will be able to characterize the image evoking power of haiku. Next is we have here to interpret examples of haiku. And for the last one is to develop a vocabulary and ideas for writing haiku. So those are the objectives of our lesson for today. Okay, next we have, all right, so here are the topic outline. So first, I will discuss to you what really haiku is and its history. Next is the metrical pattern of haiku and its seasonal theme. Okay, so here we go. Let's have first, what is haiku and its history? Okay, what is haiku? All right, so the haiku is a Japanese poetic form that consists of 3 lines with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. Now, take note that haiku is the unrhymed poetic form. It expresses more in the fewest possible words. Okay, so it is not long, just few words. All right, so take note of that. All right, so here we have the history of haiku. Okay, so haiku, it is originated as an opening part of a larger Japanese poem called renga. And in 16th century, haiku was developed, being the popular genre of Japanese linked verse. And there are poets that become respected for their haiku poetry. So we have four. Okay, so the first one is BASHO. Next is Busan, Isa, and Shiki. Now I will explain to you further who is Basho, Bosan, Isa, and Shiki. So the complete name of Basho is MATSUO Basho. He is one of the earliest proponents of the spontaneous haiku. Transformed huku, okay, he's the one who transformed huku into an independent poem that later became haiku. Take note of that. And Matsubasho focused in the concept of karumi and abandoned the syllabic limitations. Okay, next we have another one. Okay, Yosa Buson. Okay, so here may I call on Krizame Balaga to please read the statements here.
Yes. Yusa
Okay.
Buson is a distinguished literati style painter, and his writing was inextricably linked to his painting. And also, he worked hard to improve his poetry and art. So that's Yusa Buson.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Balaga. Okay, take note that Yosa Buson is a distinguished literati style painter. Okay, and his writing was inextricably linked to his painting. So he's good in painting. He worked hard to improve his poetry and art. Okay, next we have another one, Isa. May I call on Vincent Philip Gonzalez to please read the statements here.
Oh, yes, Miss. So Kobayashi Isa. So Kobayashi Isa is a prolific writer who produced over 20,000 haiku along with hundreds of tanka. His style is more robust and subjective than the austere style of Basho. And his poetry celebrated life scene moments and extolled the joys of simplicity. So that's Kobayashi Isa.
All right, thank you so much for that, Vincent Philip Gonzalez. Yes, Kobayashi Isa is a prolific writer who produced over 20,000 haiku along with hundreds of tanka. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, take note of this one. There's a difference between Basho and Isa because Isa, his style is more robust and subjective rather than the austere style of Basho. Okay, so next we have the other one. Okay, Masaoka Shiki. May I call on Desiree Bentulan to please read the statements here?
Okay, so we have here Masaoka Shiki. So he is one of the earlier exponents of the modern version of haiku. He specialized in the short form of the genre or tanka, and also he studied how to improve haiku and wrote a theoretical text on haiku literature. So that's Masaoka Shiki.
All right, thank you so much, Desiree Bentulan. Okay, so Masao Kashiki is one of the earlier exponents of the modern version of haiku. He specialized in the short form of the genre which called tanka. Okay, take note of that. He studied how to improve haiku and wrote a theoretical text on haiku literature. All right, so um, those are the people who wrote different kinds of haiku poem. Okay, so next we will proceed. All right, now let's move on to the metrical pattern of haiku and the seasonal theme of haiku. Okay. Now, may I call on Krisa May Balaga? Krisa, do you have any idea what is the metrical pattern of haiku?
I think it's 575, miss.
Okay, let's see if you are correct. Okay, now, next slide, please. All right, very good. Wow, good job for that, Krisa May Balaga. So, the metrical pattern of haiku, we have here three lines, 5 syllables, 7 syllables, and 5 syllables. Okay, so we must remember that haiku poems consist of respectively 575 in 3 units. Now, in Japanese, guys, this convention is a must. But, however, in English, which has variation in the length of syllables, this can sometimes be difficult. Yeah, that's it. Okay, don't forget the structure 575. Now let's proceed. Okay, so let's proceed to the seasonal theme of haiku. Okay, all right. Each haiku must contain a kigo. Vincent Philip Gonzalez, what do you mean by kigo?
Um, Akigo is a seasonal word which indicate in which season the haiku is set.
All right, thank you for that. Okay, now each haiku must contain a kigo, which means a season word which indicate in which season the haiku is set. So we have here the examples. For example, cherry blossoms, which indicates spring. We have here the mosquitoes, which indicate the summer. And the last one is the snow, which indicates the winter. But the season word isn't always that obvious. Take note of that. Okay, please notice that haiku poems are written under, different rules and in many languages. So for translated haiku poems, the translator must be, the translator must decide whether he should obey the rules strictly or if he should present the exact essence of the haiku. So, for example, for haiku, um, it is originally written in English, so the poet should be more careful. And these are the difficulties in the pleasure of haiku. All right, so that would be all for the seasonal theme of haiku. Now let's proceed. Okay, so there are things that we need to remember when we say haiku. So haiku, there is no set rhyme scheme. Take note of that. And again, the structure is only 3 lines. It is respectively written as 575, 5 syllables in the first line, 7 syllables in the second line, and 5 syllables in the third line. Okay, and its measure, or what we call beat, all right, haiku uses the on, a phonetic unit similar but not identical to syllables. Thus, traditional Japanese haiku measures itself as 5 on, 7 on, and 5 on in its 3 lines. Okay, so the common themes for haiku when you are going to write haiku poems, you must remember, or you should remember, that its common themes is nature or spiritual longing or loneliness and specific moments. Okay, so now I will show you some examples of haiku poem. Okay, we have here 2 haiku poem that is written by Giselle Blanco. As you can observe, the pattern or the metrical pattern of haiku was being applied. Another one All right. So we have another one that is written by yours truly. Okay. So we have two haiku poems here. Please observe the pattern. It is being applied. That's the 575 structure. Okay. Next slide, please. All right. So that would be all for, about haiku poem. And here's the reference. If you mind to visit this one, you can copy this link. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, that will be all. So now let's have a quiz. Are you ready, everyone?
Ready?
Oh, that's great. Okay, here, haiku is consist of three metrical units of 6, 7, and 5 syllables. Is it true or false? Anyone?
Um, Pakibot, miss.
All right.
For me, it's false because the structure of the haiku poem is a 5, 7, and 5
Wow,
syllables.
that's great. You are correct. Okay, next we have another. Haiku is a classic Japanese form of poetry which celebrated nature and little moments in life. True or false?
Me, ma'am. Balaga, ma'am.
Okay, Balaga.
It's true, ma'am.
All right. Okay, you are correct. Thank you for that. Next, we have another one. Okay, the haiku poem often creates two clear images or word pictures. True or false? Anyone? How about Desiree Bintulan? Is it true or false?
I think it's true, miss.
Okay, thank you so much for that. You are correct. Okay, that would be all, guys. Thank you so much for listening.